Hey, I'm super happy that you keep coming back. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're now maybe a couple months in, close to a couple months in, if not. So 2 things real quick as we start off our week, I want to mention. First off, for those of you who have gone on Apple Podcasts or Spotify and left a review, thank you so much. That's super helpful. I don't understand how the algorithms work. Actually, nobody does. But what we do know is that ratings and reviews help other people find and enjoy the podcast. Like, for instance, rah, thumbs up, said, this is the best use of 5 minutes a day. I'm sending this to my teen as she drives to school every day. What a great way to start the day. Solid theology in bite-sized pieces. Well done. Thank you. Rah. Thumbs up. That's really helpful. Secondly, for those of you who watch on YouTube, my wife commented that my back wall is really ugly and disappointing. So I don't think so, but she does. If you have any suggestions for redecorating the wall behind my podcast camera here, let me know, especially if it doesn't cost a lot of money, because I'm not going to spend a lot of money on it. With that, let me introduce this week's overarching topic. Last week, I introduced the concept of looking at life through the lens of the gospel. How whatever happens in our life, one of the most important things we can ask ourselves is, how does the gospel change this? Or, another way to say that is, how does the fact that Jesus died and rose again, that he rose again for me, change this? And so what I want to do over the next few weeks is I want to introduce a few different subjects, and let's walk through how we can look at these through the lens of the gospel. This week, our focus is going to be on friendship and betrayal. These are things that everybody wants, not the betrayal part, but everybody is going to have throughout their life. You're going to have friendships, and sadly, you're going to go through betrayal. And the gospel has a lot to say about that. God's word in general does. And so today, we're going to start that and then unpack a little bit each day of this week. What I want to actually focus on, first and foremost, just thinking about friendship. Friendships are incredibly important. The right kind of friendships are incredibly important. A statement that we say all the time it's been around since before I was alive is, show me your friends, I'll show you your future. Another good way to say it is your friends determine the direction and quality of your life. And I like, the idea that you become like the 5 to 7 people that you spend the most time with. So really pay attention to that. Proverbs 13:20 says, he who walks with the wise becomes wise, but the companion of fools suffers harm. Proverbs 22:24 says, make no friends with a man given to anger, nor go with a wrathful man, lest you learn his ways and entangle yourself in a snare. So if you spend time with somebody who is full of anger and full of wrath, you're going to learn that as a habit as well. So just steer clear. What I want to really focus on today, though, is even before friendship, this is something that I have realized I have experienced myself and I observed over and over again as a youth pastor for over 25 years, that everybody walks through. And it's seasons of loneliness. Seasons of loneliness are normal and they're temporary. And so I want you to hear that today. You may be in a season of loneliness right now. You may look around and feel like everybody's got people, everybody's got friends, everybody's got people to connect to but me. And I will tell you that is not true. It is not reality. Everybody walks through seasons of loneliness. One of the fun things that I do with our high school seniors as they are leaving is I will sit and talk with them about their previous experience in youth ministry, starting a lot of times in 6th grade. And even the kids who others would look at and say they are the most popular, they're the prettiest, they're the most athletic, they went through a major period of feeling like everybody else had that deep friendship, everybody else had that true connection, and they did not. And this isn't just something that you deal with in your middle school years or high school years. Even into adulthood, you're going to go through seasons of loneliness. Reality is, you can be married and you can still be going through a season of loneliness. And sometimes that's strange because things may be great between you and your spouse, but you can still have that. It's important to know that it's a season. That's why I called it seasons of loneliness. And so seasons change. They're normal, but to also remember they're temporary. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1 says, there's a time for everything and a season for every activity under heaven, and there's a season for loneliness. Loneliness is something that God can use in your life. Loneliness is not a punishment. Loneliness is something that God will often use to get your attention, to draw you near to him, to help renew your focus, and sometimes to realize that somebody else is not going to be your salvation, not going to be your answer, that you have to get that from the Lord. I love that in the middle of one of the greatest passages in the Bible, Psalm 23, here's what I see. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and staff, they comfort me. And so what I see, even in the midst of the shadow of death, even in the midst of my extreme lonely times, God's word in the gospel tells me that I'm actually not alone. Jesus will never leave me. He'll never forsake me. And he will walk through this valley with me, and he will walk through this valley with you. So I want to encourage you, just this short snippet today, if you are in a season of loneliness, it's not forever. It's probably, just around the corner. And we're going to talk about how to build friendships as this week goes on. And you are not truly alone. Jesus is with you, especially if you belong to him. If you don't belong to him yet, ask Jesus to save you. Call him into your life. Give your life over to him, and he will be with you, and he will never leave you, never forsake you. So I hope on this Monday, or whenever you're listening to this, it's an encouragement to you. If you are feeling lonely, it's a season. It's not forever. And Jesus is walking through it with you. Come back tomorrow as we start to talk about building deep friendships.